Before this video starts, and I know that these videos are not the most seen in my channel, I want to thank you all because we have reached 171 subscribers. We are very near the 200 subscribers and I couldn't be more happy. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. The movie I'm about to talk is by no means a perfect movie. Actually, it has a lot of problems, but I'm going to be honest with you. In my case, this movie got to me. I was disturbed by it, it was hard for me to watch it, and I found it to be very disturbing. The movie is Macabre, and as the movie explains, this movie is inspired by a series of actual events. So, when I realized that the story is based on a piece of news of many years ago, I was quite shocked because I thought this was impossible. But as the movie, the real story is very macabre. The main focus of the plot is very similar. But I can't tell you what happened in real life because I would spoil the end to those who want to watch the movie. The movie is about this woman who is called Jane. She is married, she has two children, but she's having an affair with a man called Fred. In order to have this affair, she rents an apartment far away from the city center in New Orleans, where she meets with her lover. And as they are very intelligent, they meet up usually in this place where the person who manages the building is an old, very old woman with her blind son, her adult blind son. So I guess it is a situation of see no evil, hear no evil. The problem starts when the daughter of this woman starts being suspicious of her mother. So she's going to make a very twisted plan to separate them and to get her mother and her father back again together. I'm not going to tell you what the plan of the little girl is, but I can tell you it's very disturbing and very twisted, very evil. So the little girl manages to get rid of the lover, but her mom ends up being mentally ill and it is locked in a mental hospital for a year. A year after, she gets out of the mental hospital and goes back to the house where she used to meet with her lover. And that's when the main plot of the movie starts, while she's trying to remember all the good things she had lived with her lover in this house. When she goes back to the place, Robert becomes very happy because he is interested in her. She always seduces him, but she never decides to get involved with him. She just likes to make him feel seduced. But the real problems and the real mystery of the movie starts when my poor man, Robert, who is blind, he starts to hear her screaming and moaning and talking to Fred like she's masturbating. And he can't understand why she's talking to Fred if he is dead. So I'm going to leave it there. If you want to watch the movie, go watch it. I think it has very good things. The best thing about this movie is the mystery and how you don't know what is happening as much as Robert, who is blind and can't comprehend what is going on. This is a movie that puts you in the same place as the protagonist because you don't know what is happening and he has a high disadvantage to discover what the mystery is because he can't see what is happening. The director of this movie was usually a collaborator of Dario Argento, who to me is one of the masters of horror. This movie director called Lamberto Bava was also the director of a very great movie made in Italy that became a cult movie of horror called Demoni, or Demons in English. This movie was very disturbing to me, not only because of the character of the little girl. What I can really rescue of this movie, despite it is by any means a perfect movie, is the performances of the actors and actresses, especially from this girl that you will end up hating at the end of the movie. I know that you feel sorry for her because she's little, but believe me, you are going to you are going to be afraid of her and you are going to hate it at the end of the movie. She's terribly evil. She's totally evil, sadistic, and violent. And she knows very well how to manipulate Robert, who is the blind man who ends up being in charge of this old building. So for the ones who want to watch the movie and want to get the answer to the mystery, go watch the movie because now I'm going to enter spoiler territory. The plan that this evil little girl thoughts about is getting rid of her brother to make her mother feel guilty, abandon her lover, and go back to live with her father. And she decides that the best way of doing this is drowning her brother while her mother is having an affair with her lover. I think this idea of having the sister killing her brother is quite messed up. It really got to me. I was quite shocked when it happened. I couldn't believe that they had the balls to make that decision in the story and in the script. That part of the movie is quite macabre, but the real messed up part of this movie and what really gave me the chills and made me want to puke almost is the explanation of the moanings, the screams, the nighttime activities the poor Jane did after losing her lover. The most terrible part of this movie was that this woman kept her lover's head, her lover's severed head, in putrefaction inside the fridge, and she used this head to have sexual fantasies and to masturbate thinking of her deceased lover. So each night she took the head outside of the fridge and had sex with the severed head of her lover. And the most shocking part to me was that this part of the story is totally real. This movie was actually based in a piece of news of a woman from the USA who kept her husband's head, her late husband's head, inside the fridge to have sexual relationships. And it was more shocking for me to know that a few years ago, another woman kept her husband's body inside the fridge, inside a freezer. I think the main story, the main plot, is very interesting, it's very well thought, but the execution of the movie is the problem. The movie can be quite slow at times, so maybe the runtime could be a little bit shorter, maybe 10 minutes or so, and make it more fast-paced. But the movie is quite macabre, quite disturbing. It has a lot of gory, disgusting, very unnerving situations. The evil little girl, it's a perfect performance. She really plays an excellent part in this movie. The sadistic nature of her faces, and how she enjoys to torture her mother, and the lack of empathy or humanity she shows to Robert, who is blind, and the rest of the people that surrounds her. Another horrific element of the movie is the mental breakdown and the mental illness this woman has that ends up committing an act of necrophilia. But to me, the biggest mistake of the movie has to be the ending. The ending is going very well, very realistic. The whole situation is coming to an end. But the final seconds of the movie have a very fantastic turn that doesn't go well with the rest of the movie. It's totally out of place. So I think this movie had a lot of potential, but ended up being just a horror fest, a bizarre B movie. If things were managed in a different way, and the story had been told with more seriousness and a better pace, it could have ended up being a horror movie classic. So that was Macabre to me, one of the most shocking, disturbing, disgusting movies I have ever seen. And I have seen quite many. A Serbian film, Cannibal Holocaust. I know that I'm going to make a video about Cannibal Holocaust, so stay tuned. But if you want to see a movie that goes beyond what is usually allowed in cinema, go watch Macabre from 1980, directed by Lamberto Bava. So that was the PG-13 version of my review. If you want to see the full uncensored version, go to my Patreon and support me with $1 and you will get access to all my reviews without any censorship. You can suggest songs, movies or series that I should watch, and you are going to have priority and you're going to participate in exclusive polls to help me decide what to react to or what to review. So if you would like to support this channel to fight against inflation in Argentina that I'm showing you here, I would be totally appreciative of it. Thank you very much. That would be awesome. So that was all for today. See you in the next video. Goodbye.